what's going on, everybody? So in my previous live stream, I'm sure you've seen, we went out to the salvage yard. I ended up finding a Y7 block that is lower miles and in better condition than the one in my car. So basically we bought that bottom end, and here it is. It's just a Y7, just exactly like what's in my car. Now the reason I did this is so that we can take this bottom end, put it in there, and I can daily it still, drive around on it since it's in better shape. There's nothing wrong with this one, but I want to take this one out and build it, put the forged rods, forged internals, and all that stuff in it. So in order to do that, I have to swap this one in. Now a lot of you are probably wondering, why are you making so much extra work? Well, first reason, I'm not afraid of work. Second reason, it's super easy. And this engine here is in better condition. So I can daily on this one longer than I could on that one. Since we turned the boost up to 16 pounds, I had a spike of 18 pounds and it did fine, but this engine has over 200,000 miles. This one's in much better condition. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this one in that one's place. We'll keep that head, just bolt it to this one since they're both Y7, both non-VTEC. The tune might need adjusted here and there. It just depends how much compression this has versus that one. But like I said, that one's old. So that's why we're doing it this way. It may be more complicated to you guys, but it's cool because you don't have to do any work. All you got to do is watch me do it. So basically we're going to pull the head and intake manifold off as one piece, pull the turbo and exhaust off, get it out of the way, pick the block up because it's easier this way, for me at least. I don't damage the engine bay. Then I'll just pick the engine up by hand, get it out of there, and then we'll set that one in. Now I will have to take this piece that has paint on it, this piece that has paint on it, the flywheel and the thermostat housing. Those are going back so I can get my money back. I didn't know they were going to charge me for it, or I would have taken them off. So that'll get me some money back, and then I have another block that's junk I'll use as my core, which will give me about 50 bucks back. So this block only costs $110 for this bottom end as a complete bottom end, minus these things. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll time elapse it for you guys so you don't have to sit through all the boring stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Casey had a good idea. We got the tripod on the roof, and we're gonna have an overhead view of this. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, so this is the stage 2 single disc clutch. This was just a cheap one, but it's held up pretty good, surprisingly. Since I'm on 16 pounds, I'm really surprised it's held up. Over 200 horsepower on it, so we're gonna see how bad it looks. It probably still looks good. And if it is good, it'll go in Casey's car for the time being, because his stock clutch is done. And this engine's still a good engine. I may have said that already. Okay, wow. Still really good, actually.
Yeah. Well, I have to maybe show that on camera.
Yeah.
Still really good, because I looked at my eyeballs instead.
Yeah, still plenty of life. For a non-turbo vehicle, this would hold up fine. It does have a little bit of fluid on it. That could have been from when we pulled it out, or it could be from the oil leak that this had. So, really impressed with it. I think this was just an F1. I think this was an F1 racing clutch. Stage 2, single disc. We're going to be putting in the 6-puck stage 3 from XTR. So, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm gonna get this flywheel off, this assembly off, because they charged us for that. So we're just gonna swap it over to that engine, and this will go on the engine stand. And then the D15 that I thought was still good, which it isn't, that block will be our core charge. So I'm just gonna go ahead and switch all this stuff over and show you the 6-puck stage 3 when that time comes. So. All right, so I thought real quick I should show you how I get these off when the impact can't do it. This is a really good method. I did another video on this already, but I figured I'd show you again. Using the 17mm bolt that comes out of the transmission to engine, and then just one of the 10mm flywheel bolts. Just basically have it set up like that. It wedges it in place. Then you can just break them loose, just like that. Works pretty well, pretty good method. Probably hard to see now that it moved.
A little bit, it's a little dark.
Right there with the flywheel.
Gloves are too slippery. Get this stupid thing off. Okay. Then I take the impact. And now the flywheel's off. We got the flywheel off of here. It is now on the Junkyard engine, which, as you can see, we pressure washed. And flywheel's on here, really good shape. We've got Casey's old 6-puck racing clutch. This is the XTR or the XTD. They're basically the same. Stage 3, this will hold way more power than the Stage 2 single disc will. These are like 80 bucks, 60 bucks. They're pretty cheap and they work good. So we're gonna throw that on. I have the clutch alignment tool, and this engine will hold more torque than the previous one. Granted that it's a good engine, but it should be. We're going to swap oil pans once it's in the car, because it'll just be easier. We put that on the engine stand, take the oil pan off, put it on here, and then
$62.
Oh, okay. He said XTD Stage 3. It was $62. He bought it in 2018 on November 24th. And he's put a lot of miles, 1,000 miles a week on it, and it's held up really good. It has just enough life to get us by. I will be buying a brand new 6-puck Stage 4 clutch with a lightweight flywheel for this engine when it's fully built, so it'll all go on here. This is just temporary, guys. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this in after I put the clutch and flywheel on, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you something real quick. We're kind of just tightening these up a little bit, snugging them down all around on the clutch. Now I want to show you something that'll probably make your life so much easier. When stabbing the engine to the transmission, it's always a pain with it in the car. This method works to making it less of a pain for you. So you'll take the clutch alignment tool, you'll shove it in, you'll tighten it down, you'll kind of wiggle it a little bit, and then pull it in and out. When it's flows in and out and goes and glides like that really easily, that's going to allow it to stab onto your transmission effortlessly. So in theory, with it as it is right now, if we were to tighten all the bolts down, it should be that easy to stab it into your car. So we're gonna find out when we go to put it in. So just wanted to give you guys that little tip. We'll go ahead and torque these down, and then we'll go ahead and stab it. Alright, so real quick, I wanted to point out some things that'll make the transmission stab to the engine easier, or engine to transmission. Got a dowel pin here, and typically there's one back there. This one already has them on the engine itself, so you want to make sure those aren't causing issues fighting each other. Also, I disconnect this part right here on the slave cylinder, because this is what it tries doing. It tries pushing out like this while you're trying to push the engine in. So you want that as back as far as possible, and once the engine stabs, you can easily reconnect that. So I just wanted to give you guys that little tip right there, and I'm going to go ahead and put this back up so you guys can see everything from a aerial view. Alright everyone, so the engine's in. The camera died, sorry about that. Me and Casey just got the rest done. We triple checked everything, so it's about to start. We topped coolant off, oil filter, brand new timing belt, new water pump, and oil pan gasket. So this is a fresh engine, well, from a junkyard. It's supposed to be fresher than the engine we pulled out, but I'll go over this in just a minute. So he's going to go ahead and prime it, and we're going to hopefully hear her fire up. All right. Oh, she started. Now, it will be kind of loud, so I'm going to back up and try to tell you. It will be kind of loud for a minute because with our phones pickup sound really weird. But dang, listen how smooth it runs. Wow. Give it a light rev. A little bit louder. Oh, nice. Nice. So, let me make sure there's no leaks. Things looking good. Let me check underneath. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let Casey take it down the street. We'll hear what it sounds like driving off, and he'll let me know how everything is. Clutch feel good?
Yeah, feels great.
Awesome. 6-puck stage 3's in it now, so should do pretty good. Good daily. Hear what it sounds like as he goes down the road. Right, guys, so we're gonna take a little trip to Mexico, go and get on it a little bit, see how it's doing. Now this engine is a lot fresher with lower miles, so the compression is a tidbit higher than the other Y7. So in theory it should spool faster and should pull harder. Right now air fuels at cruising are pretty good, so that means that it's definitely doing better because they were a little bit in the rich side, which means we're getting more airflow now, which means higher compression, more air. But we're gonna get on it. I'm not gonna be too aggressive, but I want to get on it and make sure the engine's gonna last. We have a 3-day warranty, so if I blow it up within the first 3 days, I get my money back or another engine, either one. But I'm not trying to blow it up. I'm not gonna be able to do super fast shifts since this clutch just got put in. We're gonna kind of break it in a little bit. He'll be kind of watching air fuels and boost and all that stuff going on. So I'll go ahead, go down, turn around, and we'll get on it. Here we go. Now the boost was at a lower level because we did lower it, so we still mess with that a little bit. But it seemed to do good. I didn't hear any knocks or any funky sounds. So it should be a good engine. We'll go through, make sure it's not leaking or anything like that when we get back to the house, and we'll go over some more stuff. Alright, so that was a pretty decent run. Not the best, but we found out why. There is a boost leak. Well, there was a boost leak at the turbo where the coupler goes down. It had a hole in it. It's not like bad or anything. We just had to push it up and clamp it back down. So there's air escaping and we hit 10 pounds. The turbo and everything is set for 14. I should say the MAC valve is set for 14 pounds. So we hit 10, not too terrible. But yeah, we fixed that. It's running even better now. And everything's looking good. Air fuel ratios are right where they need to be. So I'm happy with it. The 6-puck stage 3 is biting really nice, and it's definitely putting the power down more. So I have a huge mess to clean, but there's a video I'll be doing next, which I've already filmed tonight, on the teardown of the original Y7. This motor came with the car, and it has matching VIN plates. That's why I want to build this particular one. Everyone was asking why I wanted to do it, and I can tell you right now, spoiler alert, there's nothing wrong with this engine, and I proved that in the video, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. I didn't want to build the Junkyard engine because it didn't have matching VIN plates, and it's just something I wanted to do, build the original Motors engine, just because, and that's why I did what I did. But this one's solid. It'll last plenty long enough. I got to get my kids to and from school, so I can't be down with my car unless it's a weekend or something. I need my car because my wife takes the Pilot to and from work. Also, I have these to get rid of. I have to go back to the salvage yard, take these back, get my money back. 17 plus some change, and like $8 plus the D15B7 block, which is right here. I'll show you. This block right here was the one we were gonna build. It had way more damage than we thought. So I took the rods and pistons and put them in here so that this goes as a core, because they wouldn't take it without the rods and pistons. So the rods and pistons out of the 1.6 are in the 1.5 just as show, you know, just for crush weight purposes. So that'll be going salvage yard. That's worth like $50, and all this stuff will go back so I can get some money back and put it towards this build. But I have a massive mess to clean up. So I have a lot of work ahead of me. So thank you for joining and watching to the end. You guys are the real MVPs of my channel, and my channel wouldn't have grown without you. So please like the video and drop a comment. That alone helps the channel so much. So definitely stay tuned for the 500 horsepower D16 Y7 build. It is coming. I don't have the money for the internals yet, but it's coming. The more you guys like, the more you guys comment, the more it helps. So thanks for watching. We'll have more pool videos coming soon. So hit the subscribe button if you haven't, like it, and drop a comment. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, God bless, stay safe, and stay awesome.